Alright, we got a couple packages to go through, so I'm just going to bring them in one at a time. Get these scissors out and let's get recklessly into this. As you can see, I kind of jabbed those scissors aggressively in my general direction. Assuming we're unnecessary for this one, but whatever. I was wondering what this was because I was like, that looks kind of like L for some reason. Less like L looking at it like this, but I don't know. It felt like he was on his, sitting on his legs in a chair in a very L-type manner. Don't need to turn that over because we got 1/4 package. One more package. I did these in the opposite order I intended, didn't I? So I was thinking this one should be the one at the bottom, the biggie one, but no, I guess it's the one at the top that we look at first, which is Plunderer. Which of course looks, I guess it says it right there, looks medieval fantasy, so of course, you know, this one's piqued my interest. Regions A and B, English dubbed. Limited edition features 8 cards, 20-page booklet, 2 acrylic diorama, and stickers. So we will open this. Take a look at that. Okay, so is this guy some sort of black sphere person? We don't know them, but she kicks with a skirt for some reason. I keep thinking that the slightly darker skinned girl has the staff, but it's actually this pink one that does. The one that looks like she doesn't belong in the medieval fantasy world. He's got a sword. Well, sort of. Ha 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 ha. Here we've got this. It's less curious who has that staff, but this makes it seem like these two are kind of the more main characters, whereas this one would make you think those are the 3 mains or something like that. Interesting. Are these pairs? There's 2, 2, 2. That makes me a little worried just because, you know. Oh, nice. Funimation doesn't commonly do insert covers different. Now this is of course the same as the cover that was on the box itself, but she had a bit of an, oh look, he's got a mask. Interesting. You know, the discs are pretty plain, and this sheet does not want to go in there, but well, we have to make do. Sometimes we have to forget to put the sleeve back on. This would be the, you know, flipping through it real quick, we can see a bunch of good options. I saw some character art, I saw some scene design, some maybe sketches, and I think these are the stickers. They don't mean much to me. I guess there's a back, there's a front, there's stuff. You know what? We're opening this up because I'm curious, and I think you might find it interesting. this is sealed in a thing that is not sticking to this acrylic thing. And I was just thinking, these look like they are not like there's a fuzziness to these. But it doesn't feel like there's a sticker on the front. I wonder if this just means it did not show up the way they intended. Oh, okay. So if we go here to this one, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can take this off. So like this goes here. There's no doubt about that. He goes there. Okay. So we need to do these one at a time because these go here. Give or take the fact that I'm having trouble getting it to go in, but I think that's because you need to do something like that. Okay, that snapped in, apparently. Makes me wonder if the rest of these should kind of snap into place. The side in which I can't see the letters, the side that goes on the front. Oh, there we go. That's what it looks like assembled. Can't tell if this camera's focusing or not. And then we've got a bunch of cards. Now, some of this artwork is familiar. I was thinking these people look new. There's a strange variety to these cards. Some of them are, oh look, this character's attractive, and others are just, here's characters making faces at each other. Shachibato. I thought there was like a fish or something there, but that's just her. Here, President, it's time for battle. This looks a little RPG-ish. Take the sticker off. Oh, look. There's sexy Bishonen underneath it. Oh, cool. I think we've been surprised by a couple of things on their stickers the last couple times. A different kind of boss battle. And not so coincidentally, I think Cyanide Happiness within the last couple of days created an animated version of their classic that I think is also called Boss Battle. And if I'm mistaken on the title, no, I don't want to. Oh wait, the inside's different. It's always cool to see that. Who released this? Animation. It doesn't. Based on the popular mobile strategy RPG. I guess I don't know that name. I see region A and B. I see what looks like English. so yeah, Funimation. Disc número uno, número dos. And I think this is our group of people who are playing the Memorphiger. Now, what this means beyond that, I don't really know. Funimation released a lot of titles today. Next up we have Appare Ranman. Does that sound familiar or not? Gotta check under here for any sexy hidden people. None this time. The reign of people had to stop. East meets West on the road to the finish line. We see region A and B. English dub. Just thought I haven't been looking at the special features, have I? I looked at what was listed on the limited edition, but that was just every... No, it's a different cover on the inside. So Funimation's doing that quite a bit. Not quite sure what to make of this. Like, it's East meets West, and it does seem to have kind of an Eastern-Western kind of vibe. Those are fucking cars, so I don't know. Sort of like a... Yeah. I guess I'm wondering if I'm getting a Cowboy Bebop sort of vibe to the overall design. Ahiru no Sora Collection 2. And I'm pretty sure I got Collection 1 somewhere, but right now this plastic is being tenacious. Let's scrape the inside of the plastic a little. I don't know why I suddenly hit Yoshi's Island on me. I'm sorry. Because that means we need the full song, and I'm not doing that. Region A, English dub, Pain, Stay Off the Court, 25 through 50 on 3 discs. So quite a few. I forget, is this basketball? I guess it's basketball. Last but not least, Black Clover. We have to uncover some sexy fire here, I think. Fire. What the hell is this guy's shape? Or does he have a shape and I missed that these two are one? What the hell? Regions A and B. Keep adding to your Season 3 collection. That almost makes me think that they're, you know, tired of saying Season 3 stuff. So which one is this? This is Season 3 Part 4. Okay, that sounds good. Like I haven't missed out on any limited editions, possibly, because I think it was either season or Part 2 or Part 3. And this is Season 3, and I can see over there that there are definitely 3 boxes. 2 of them are empty, of course, because I started putting them over there when I started ripping them, but I haven't been keeping up on my rips in any way, shape, or form, so... we are going to very quickly look at the volcano. Person maybe... No, I think that's just volcano, and person is right here. He's got fire, but it's not traditional fire. What's with all these things refusing to take these inserts? Being very annoyingly stubborn. I'm almost tempted to just break it off. That's the impatient part of me that was yelling at my Monster Hunter dog the other day because I kept getting knocked around by the monster and the dog was always on the opposite side of the monster. I tried to run up to it. It's like, oh, they're moving. I'll go to the opposite side of the monster. No, I want to heal. Anyways, here's this week's anime DVD collection update. So, I got some distance into Neko Power, but I kind of lost my steam. I mean, if you couldn't tell from my description last week, for me, the characterization of the regular characters was a little strange and convenient, which may just be the way Neko Power has always been. It's just I've never had to try and digest so much of it at one go. But I said that the saving grace was that it had the kitten and it was doing a lot of stuff about the kitten. And, of course, it doesn't want to be only about the kitten, especially when it's got a dozen episodes. And for me, the problem with that was mostly just that it started going back to, okay, well, here's the other characters acting. You're wondering if the characterizations are right or real or even make sense, or at least I was thinking that stuff. And it's not that it was bad, it's just sort of like, it started wavering where it's like, okay, now they're just having the cat girls do kind of cat Olympics sort of stuff. Are they humans? Are they cats? Again, the show's kind of convenient with what it wants them to be at any point in time without regard for if it actually makes sense. And I'm not sure if it necessarily made it funny. I at least didn't find it funny, but, you know, that could just be me. And I was probably about ready to go that way when it's like, okay, well, they just spent the entire time at the family house doing this cat Olympic stuff, and it's completely detracting from normal stuff. I would call it a complete filler episode, other than, you know, it's like, oh, these two cats who are always at each other's necks also secretly care for each other, and I think we kind of already knew that. But again, the show doesn't know if it wants them to be dumb because they're cat girls or smart because they're slightly human, and I feel like it tends to be a little inconsistent in that regard. But then the next episode's like, oh, a storm episode. Well, I'm kind of curious about that, and it was okay, but at that point it's like, I'm not feeling like I really need to continue watching it, so I wanted to try out something else. Now, I say this like I did this earlier in the week, or did this when I didn't have anything left, but the truth of the matter is, plenty of time has gotten sunk into Monster Hunter Rise. But the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to check out Magical Girl Ore. Ore. Well, I think it's a Japanese word meaning me. Because so as I summarized from the back, it's about a girl who does a magical girl transformation into a guy, and it's played for laughs. It's silly. It's amusing. I've seen 2 episodes, and I could very easily continue going on, and I might. It just depends on if I feel instead in the mood to put something else on. If there's any reason that would definitively drive me in that direction, it would be dub or sub. You know, it's not that the subtitles are bad or it's hard to watch it subtitled, but it is hard to watch it subtitled when trying to do other things. So I'm trying to decide if I want to finish it because I'm kind of curious about where it's going. Now, I've only watched 2 episodes, so I haven't given it its fair share. But at the same time, I'm curious if Plunderer is worth it or not, just because, oh, hey, that's a kind of isekai. And the truth of the matter is, once I take this out, I'm probably not putting it back in. You know, not because that's anything to say with this, but that's just more of an observation of the way I tend to do things. But overall, it was an entertaining first 2 episodes, if that's all I've watched, if that's all I watch. And I guess if there was anything else to mention, it's that I didn't feel like episode 1 quite did what it needed to do, but it was close enough that I guess it works. The main problem is, you know, given that you can kind of guess, it's based on my having said it and my having guessed it, that, oh, this appears to be an anime about a magical girl who transforms into a guy when she transforms. Well, they kind of save it for the very end of the first episode without getting a feel for the character interaction. Although, you know, again, that isn't necessarily bad, but it does mean that if you only watch the first episode, then chances are you're kind of curious what happens next. And now I think about it, it's really weird to criticize it for that, and I'm not sure if I actually am. I'm just kind of saying that was a thing it did, and it could potentially be a weakness. But you know what else did that? Neon Genesis Evangelion. In its first episode,
sets up the stuff so you're going to find out what it means for our main character to be behind the pilot seat, and it puts him there and launches him at the very end of the first episode so that you have to watch the next episode to kind of find out what happens. And I'm not sure if that's a good cliffhanger or not. There's a part of me that thinks that it's kind of cheap, but then again, it's not like the pacing felt bad in either episode. I don't know, maybe some people would feel that Neon Genesis Evangelion is a little slow these days. And that could be fair. So, what does it all come out to? 2 episodes. Kind of funny. Some of the stuff is obvious and you're just enjoying it because of the characters reacting to stuff. And I want to say more, but I don't know. It's just amusing. So again, you know, there's a chance that I might watch more of this. I don't really know because as soon as I finish recording this, I'm probably actually taking a shower. And then when I get out of the shower, I might be too exhausted to watch anything, and then tomorrow comes, and then who knows what happens tomorrow. So, I have to figure that all out. Like I said, I did play a lot of Monster Hunter Rise. I think last week I was holding off on Crimson Glow Valstrax, and I ended up doing it anyways. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I didn't even realize that you don't unlock them until Hunter Rank 100. Which apparently I was, and didn't even realize I was already that high. And... oh, yeah, excuse me, whoa. So this is why I don't know what I'm going to watch next. And so, it turns out that all my people in the peer group who, you know, they're not playing as much as I am, and, you know, that's okay. It's always one way or the other, it seems. Like, either I'm not playing as much as they are, they're playing... I'm playing more than they are, and it always balances out. But they're still playing, and it's still fun. And for me, fighting Crimson Glow Valstrax, I want to say easy, but not really easy. So much as very manageable. I'd say a good monster. There were 2 times where I should have been hit by his ambush, because I had no business not being hit, because instead of properly dodging, I did the dog summon. Because if there's one thing I've gotten out of the habit of in this game, but I knew how to do all the time in GU, it's the dive. The dive is a very important move because during the length of the dive you are invincible. Which basically means that in order to survive certain big monster hits for which the timing is, you know, even if you could figure out the timing, you probably shouldn't be trying to figure out the timing because you're going to lose most or all of your health. But, you know, the dive allows you to mitigate that. So, basically, you know, I've not fainted to a Valstrax, but I've definitely gotten close because he is a really fucking hard hitter. Close enough that it kind of makes me... well, I was going to say roll my eyes, but I guess I don't actually roll my eyes, but I go... no, it really is the case. Where people talk about how they don't collect the spirit birds because... oh, it doesn't matter, but it does matter because... especially the health one. The defense one would, you know, help you... defense ones will help you maybe not take as much damage, but the health one, I mean, we're talking about something that almost like increases your health by 50%. It's a lot. And it can be the difference between whether or not you survive a big hit or not. So, I'd say if I've been surviving Valstrax without getting carded, it's probably because I've, unlike the vast majority of people I see on the internet. In fact, I'm not sure if I've run into anybody, any random on the internet that actually spends the time to very quickly, you know, gather up all their buffs so that they don't fucking die against the monster. And it was very frustrating against other monsters, like Tigrex. Oh my god, so many people faint against Tigrex. And I can understand that my armor sets are getting more and more elaborate and harder for the monsters to handle. But it's still one of those things where I kind of feel like it probably tends to happen because people don't spend the time to get their buffs. They're like, nope, we're doing online multiplayer, so everybody's in speedrun mode. Even if, you know, sometimes it means they faint. And I don't know. I'm for every individual experience and not for, oh, let's do a billion of them, even though I've done plenty of grinding. I mean, I grinded Valstrax to create its armor because it's got a pretty damn good armor set. But I don't know. And maybe I'm just misaligned. Maybe there's something that people know, but at the same time, almost every single monster that gets hunted gets captured if it can be captured. And as far as I can tell, there's very few situations where that makes sense. Like, maybe if you were really, really desperate for Rathalos Ruby, because, like, you have 2-3% chances to get it instead of 3-1% chances to get it. But even still, what if the person you joined isn't going for Rathalos Ruby? You are, but they're just going for monster parts because they're trying to get the mission out of the way and also keep their charm stuff fulfilled. Then it's kind of a dick move to capture when the host wasn't planning to capture. So I at least try to be kind of considerate. I don't know who sets up the captures when they do, but you know, when somebody does, maybe it was just the host, but I suspect it's probably just internet randos are always all about capturing everything, even when it actually doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. It could be I'm just out of touch, but it's easy to bitch about. Although that said, one thing that did get me pretty frustrated that finally caused me to go and change my Palamutes so that they're always in follow mode, which basically means they'll attack anything that comes near, but their goal is to always stay near me. Since I've pretty much constructed all the armors, all the gems, etc. that I currently have targeted, I started looking into I started blanking like a blank on the blank. I started looking into... Sorry, I'm getting so distracted, aren't I? No, I constructed all that stuff, so now I'm just kind of looking at, okay, how do I get awards and how do I fill out my quests so that I have them all done and the check mark by everything. I mean, some of the how is, oh, obviously you do it, but then there's some where it's like, well, you have to unlock it by doing a rampage quest, and there's an award for doing a lot of rampage quests, which means I'll be doing a lot of rampage quests in the near future, but gosh, I'm blanking. I was gonna go somewhere with this. Oh yeah, one of them was a hunt 5 large monsters in a free hunt. So what happened was, you know, since I've already done Valstrax, that means Valstrax was there on the free hunt. So I'm like, okay, I'll actually target him first. This was Shrine Ruins, because the idea of Shrine Ruins is there's so many herbs all over the place that you have an unlimited supply of potions. So you can keep going indefinitely if you really need to. I also had hunger satiation, I forget what it's actually called, but it prevents my stamina, my max stamina, from going down, so I can just stay there forever. Heal up with potions, grab more herbs, construct more potions, and keep going. Very nice. So I started with the Crimson Valstrax, and I did take it down, but again, the dog was always on the wrong side of it when I really needed it, and somehow I didn't faint, but I really got frustrated with that, so dog was there. So if you're curious what the other one, so since you're supposed to hunt 5, that's the Crimson Valstrax, the Great Izuchi, the Basil Juice, Acnisomo, and Acniju, whatever that kind of small Allosaurus sort of thing that moves like a Devil Joe Light or something. But, you know, and I don't think it was quite that order, other than it started with Crimson Valstrax, and then I went immediately from the ultimate monster down to the lowest of the low, but with the Great Izuchi. You know, I did those other 3, and I'm like, there's also Nargacuga here. I like Nargacuga, I'll fight him. And then, before he was gone, Zinogre showed up, and I'm like, I like fighting Zinogre, I'll fight him. And so, those were the 7 monsters I tackled. It was nice, seeing a lot of parts. I'd like to say that's going to keep the charm stuff fed, but the rampage quests, I think, are providing more materials for that. which is fine and good and dandy. So it's all fun stuff, but yeah, I'm at the part of the game where I'd rather be helping people more than doing my own stuff, but I am doing stuff here and there, and I have to say, Evade Extender is just fun. You know, I've always been an offensive player, and Evade Extender is really good for just being defensive, but it also means that you spend a lot more time launching yourself at the enemy and just coming in flying and missing the damn tail, because it's really hard to hit tail. But it's fun. And I've got some sets with earplugs, and earplugs are nice. Although I don't have level 5 earplugs, but I'm not sure if I should bother, because it doesn't get rid of powerful roars, it just reduces their effect. So if I'm still going to be affected anyways, it means I'm going to get interrupted, and that's okay. All fun stuff. Okay. So there we go. There's my babbling time. I hope it was enjoyable for. Bleh. I hope it was enjoyable for y'all. Y'all have a nice week.